Hello everyone! Welcome to We Are Done, I Can't Deal With You Anymore challenge. Can you guess who is the initiator of this one? Yeah, probably yes. Anyway, this is one of the challenges where we are going to be closing some loose ends and also maybe opening some loose ends, as always. And as always, special thanks to my lovely patrons and all of you who subscribe and watch these videos. You're keeping this channel alive and going. Thank you very much, and I hope you will enjoy. I don't like this collective. Wow, rude. Yeah, what did we ever do to you? I didn't mean it like that. Though I could live without seeing some of you so often. Wow, rude. Stop that. Why are we here? Nobody knows? Nope, as clueless as you. Who created the chat? Iwaizumi. Oh, did anyone else just get a really bad feeling? A little bit. Greetings. Now I'm scared. What's this about? A challenge. Well, yeah, figured. No one makes these chats for any other reason these days. What kind? I'm not in the mood for challenges. I honestly don't care. That doesn't sound like we are going to enjoy this challenge. Yeah, I'm getting bad vibes too now. I'm not going to bother with details. Your task is to tell your partner, we are done, I can't deal with you anymore. What? Are you serious? Nope, not doing that. Me neither. Where did this even come from? I'm not saying that to Aki, it's going to destroy him. Same with Taichi. We are planning a wedding, damn it, and his heart is already fragile. Chika too, he's going to crumble if I tell him that. I'm not participating in this. Sugu already thinks I'm doing something shady, I'm not adding to it. Not now. Again, I don't care, just do it. You're even worse than Oikawa. I have an idea. Let's just agree and then either not do it or just really gently, to keep peace. Sounds good. You know, I actually want to do this. Ouch? Did something happen? I don't know, but I'm not waiting for explanation anymore. Yeesh. Hey, this is my chat. How dare you kick me out? Sorry, misclick. Whatever, just do the challenge. Ugh, fine. You better pray I won't have to cancel the wedding. Or worse, call ambulance. Unable to believe the sudden change in Iwaizumi's behavior, Kentaro almost tossed the phone aside, grumbling under his breath. Either Oikawa rubbed off on him or something happened. He wasn't sure which option was worse because, as much as he wasn't fond of Oikawa as a person, he did have a certain level of respect for him. And on top of that, he didn't want to see Iwaizumi like this. Cold and hostile. That just wasn't like him. What are you thinking about? He glanced up, meeting Shigeru's curious gaze. Sighing, he made a grabby gesture towards his husband and then hummed contentedly when Shigeru settled on his lap. It's nothing. Liar! You looked like you were trying to set our table on fire. What is it? Kentaro took a while to think, nuzzling into the crook of Shigeru's neck in the meantime. He had no intention in doing the challenge, even the gentle version Tendo suggested. It just wasn't worth it. He didn't want to see pain back on Shigeru's face. His own occasional moments of insecurity and doubts were hard enough to watch even without the added stress. Do you know about what's going on with Oikawa and Iwaizumi? Shigeru blinked in surprise before his forehead scrunched in thought. Did Oikawa-san pull you into another challenge? Not him, Iwaizumi. Huh? I'm surprised too. He told us to tell our partners that we are done because we can't deal with them anymore. Shigeru visibly recoiled, and Kentaro mentally pat himself on the back for deciding to ignore the whole thing. He pulled Shigeru closer, leaving a light kiss on his lips. I would never say that to you. Yeah, thank you. For not saying it, I mean. But it seems like whatever is going on is serious if they are willing to hurt each other like this. Should we do something? With his shoulders slumped, Shigeru snuggled deeper into Kentaro's embrace as if trying to hide, for which Kentaro gladly provided him with a safe shelter. I don't know. It's probably not our place to intervene. But it feels wrong to just sit back and watch. Well, let's wait and see. Maybe they will figure it out on their own. We can always help out if they ask. That seemed to cheer Shigeru up a little bit, judging by the tiny smile curling his lips. Right. Dreading the potential consequences of doing the challenge, Tanaka dove into the prescribed exercise, trying not to think about the whole thing too much. Tento was right after all, he didn't have to do it. Or he could do a milder version, if something like that existed. No way he could say something so awful to his boyfriend. Not after everything they've been through in the last year. Why do they have to make our lives miserable because they are arguing? Ryu, slow down. You are pushing yourself too hard. Tanaka stopped mid-movement, only now realizing he was short of breath and his legs ached as if he walked to Tokyo and back. A gentle hand squeezed his shoulder, and soon after, Ennoshita knelt down next to him, the all-too-familiar worried look in his eyes. Rest for a while. Sighing deeply, Tanaka nodded and reached for Ennoshita's hand to kiss his palm. Sorry, I was thinking and forgot myself. I'm fine though, I just need to catch my breath. Ennoshita didn't seem calmed by that, despite the blush now coloring his cheeks. Not that Tanaka was surprised. Ever since he got into the hospital, Ennoshita was always on lookout for potential health issues, and everything just intensified after their failed Halloween vacation. The memory still bothered Tanaka to no end. The place gave him the perfect opportunity to get their relationship on another level, only for the weather to steal that chance from him again. And despite the fact several months had passed, he still didn't find the proper moment to get on one knee. It was frustrating. Ryu? Oh, sorry. Is everything alright? Oh yeah, everything is fine, no worries. He grunted as he got up, a short spasm in his thigh making him grit his teeth. We are done. He paused, suddenly feeling as if the temperature in the room dropped a few degrees. Done? Startled by the tremble in Ennoshita's voice, he turned around, only for his heart to crack when he spotted Ennoshita's confused expression. Apparently, the pain he felt made him sound more hostile than he would ever want to be. I mean, with the exercise. I don't know why I said we. He carefully knelt to Ennoshita, suppressing a hiss along the way, and took his hand in both of his. I'm sorry if it came out bad. I didn't want that. Damn this whole challenge. Ennoshita's shoulders slumped, his grip on Tanaka's hand tightening. It's okay. I'm sorry, I shouldn't jump to conclusions. Why did you? Did I do something? No, it's fine. He smiled, but Tanaka wasn't blind to not see the deeply engraved sadness in his beloved's eyes. And so he pulled Ennoshita into a hug, more determined than ever to put the ring on his boyfriend's finger as soon as possible. What does he even think he's doing? And here I thought he was the only voice of reason to ever come from that team. With a deep sigh, he bumped his forehead into the cabinet while he continued to stir ice cubes into the tea he made for Semi, trying to cool it enough to drink through a straw. As if he didn't have enough worries with taking care of Semi and desperately trying to save Sakura's life, he was supposed to do a challenge now? And an awful one on top of that? No thanks. A light tap on his shoulder startled him from his thoughts. Semi tilted his head, his forehead scrunching a bit in apparent concern. Shirabu sighed. I'm fine. Sorry, were you trying to get my attention before? I didn't see you. Semi shook his head slowly before motioning to the cup of tea with no ice cube inside on the surface of it. Oh, right. He quickly put the short straw into it and handed the cup to Semi. Here you go. Drink slowly, okay? While Semi's swallowing got much better in the past week or so, it didn't hurt to be careful with drinking in particular. Or rather, it would hurt a lot to not be careful. Semi knew that better than anyone. Judging by the grateful smile he gave Shirabu, he had no issue to admit it. How could I ever say something so horrible to you? He paused, an echo of all the other horrible things he said to Semi throughout their relationship sounding in his mind, making his chest constrict. Sure, most of it he said in stress or under pressure of his work, but that didn't change anything on the fact that no matter how much he tried to be a good boyfriend, he kept hurting the person he loved more than anything. What a way to return all the care and love Semi gave him on a daily basis. And no matter how much he tried to deny it, as the days went by, he was getting closer to potentially betraying Semi's heart once again. I'm sorry. He didn't realize he said it out loud until he was engulfed in a warm hug. He squeezed Semi back, suddenly unable to let go even slightly. A soft hum vibrated through Semi's throat, which just made him want to cry more. He was hopeless, and yet he managed to find someone who stayed by his side no matter what, for better or worse. Just how lucky did he get? Won a lottery, that's for sure. He sniffed and finally managed to convince himself to let go, the gentle smile on Semi's lips telling him everything would be alright, turning his knees weak. Sorry, I got a bit emotional there. I love you, you know that, right? Semi nodded, leaving a kiss on his nose. I love you too. With his heart pounding wildly in his chest, Lev closed the chat app and dragged his fingers through his hair in despair. Despite what he said in the chat, he really didn't want to do this. He didn't want to say those things to Yaku. He didn't want their relationship to end. Not like this. Not after he experienced the soul-crushing feeling of not having Yaku in his life. But he couldn't continue to overlook Yaku's recent strange behavior. He needed answers. And if he had to push hard, then that's what he would do. He just hoped his damage control skills would be enough to soothe the pain over again. Eventually, at least. Just how horrible can you get? Didn't you hurt him enough already? Shaking his head, he reminded himself that he, too, was hurt by Yaku's actions, and headed to the living room, finding his fiancée sitting on their couch, looking as fidgety as one could get. The sight hurt, more than Lev would like to admit. Come on, don't get all soft now. If we don't deal with this, it's going to end badly. Let's talk. Yaku flinched with the words, his eyes widened like those of a trapped rabbit. Something Lev never expected, nor wanted to see. About? You. And us. He had never seen Yaku pale so quickly. Okay. What's going on with you? And don't you dare to say nothing. The words came out harsher than he intended, the frustration and pain he felt seeping into his voice. Yaku opened his mouth, only to close it again as he avoided his gaze. Lev suppressed a groan. They really were running around in circles, and his patience was running low. Why can't you just tell me? What's so horrible I can't know about it? Lev, what am I supposed to think when you act like this? When you aren't talking to me? It's not that simple. Bullshit! You are always the one saying that everything gets simple when you talk about it. Lev, that's not... No, stop with the excuses. He clenched his fists, trying to hide how much his hands were trembling. However, he couldn't keep the tremble from his voice. Either you tell me what's going on, or we are done. I can't deal with you anymore when you are like this. He could swear he heard his heart actually crack when the first tears rolled down Yaku's cheeks before they hid in his palms. Broken, barely hearable sorry reached his ears, kicking in Lev's instinct and dissipating the remnants of anger. He knelt in front of Yaku, hesitating for a split second before he reached for his hands to pull them away from his face. Mori, please don't cry. I'm sorry for saying that, I shouldn't have. I'm not breaking up with you, I swear. You might. Lev froze when the tearful eyes met his, so vulnerable and scared he had to force himself to stay calm. What did you do? A mistake. When we argued about Jiro, and I thought we could use some time apart. So I agreed to an offer to transfer to Poland to play. That wasn't what Lev expected to hear. However, the relief was soon replaced by a sinking feeling in his stomach. Poland. Yeah, it was impulsive, I know. I shouldn't have done that, but I was upset But then we talked it out, and when I tried to take it back, it already got to the team owner, who said I no longer have a place on his team. He looked away, trying in vain to dry his eyes. I was trying to figure out how to tell you that I'll be going to Poland, but I just made everything worse, like always. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry for always ruining everything. Confused, sad, and more than a little hurt, Lev sighed and pulled Yaku to his chest, squeezing tight as his fiancée let out the obviously pent-up fear through tears. While the news weren't as damaging as he worried, he couldn't help but wonder what was it that he did that made Yaku so scared to tell him about it. Do you seriously have to ask? After everything you told him before? How awful can you be? It's okay, Mori. We can deal with that. It's not that bad. We are just going to be a bit further away, that's all. Judging by the way Yaku clung to him, it wasn't the right thing to say. But what else was there to say? With a soft sigh, he kissed the top of Yaku's head and then pulled him closer, trying to sort his thoughts. Let's talk about it a bit later, okay? I'm sure we will figure something out. He desperately hoped that would be the case. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Fun fact, I only realized that I miscalculated with the ships after I finished this part, aka I added one ship that shouldn't have been here, but that's okay. Anyway, YakuLev kinda got resolved. Overall, this challenge, as harsh as it sounds, is going to be a bit more on the realization side for the ships. I wanted to give them chance to reflect on their relationship and maybe do some little changes in their behavior and just let them think about what they have in the relationship, at least the ones that are participating in this. So hopefully that's going to be interesting for you. If you have any requests or ideas, the request form is linked in the video description. See you next time!